Pagbati po sa inyong lahat mga kababayan at mga mahal po naming taga-subaybay. Ako po si Jazz Vlog at andito na naman tayo. Meron akong isi-share sa inyo mga kababayan, yung usapang matino ni Attorney Rowena Guanzon, na meron siyang naging guest na expert sa international law. At pinag-usapan dito ang tungkol dyan sa ICC warrant of arrest na siyang sinusunod ngayon ng ating gobyerno. Meron na pong direktiba ang Department of Justice o DOJ na arestuhin si Senator Bato de la Rosa at inatasan ang mga nasa NBI at nasa PNP mga kababayan. Kaya ito ngayon ang pinagpipiestahan ngayon ng mga nasa social media, mga vloggers at mga YouTubers, influencers mga kababayan. Ito ngayon ang ipinakakalat. Ito mga kababayan, dito sa mapapanood nyo po ngayon sa usapang matino, talagang matinong usapan ito dahil sa ang mga nag-uusap dito ay puro mga abogado mga kababayan. At sila po ang may kaalaman sa mga batas-batas na yan mga kababayan. Although may naririnig tayo mga kababayan na tungkol dyan sa batas, yung ICC batay sa ating mga naririnig, hindi naman kasi tayo abogado, mukhang abogado lang tayo. Ang naririnig natin dyan mga kababayan, yung warrant of arrest ng ICC, kung sakali talagang ipapipilit nila na ipatutupad yan sa ating bansa, kailangan muna na dumaan sa korte dito sa ating bansa yung warrant of arrest na yan bago ihain sa nasasakdal o sa tao na pinatutungkulan ng warrant of arrest. Ganun po yun mga kababayan. Hindi pwede na mabypass ang ating mga hukuman o korte sa ating bansa mga kababayan. Hindi pwedeng ganon, sapagkat malinaw na paglabag yon sa konstitusyon mga kababayan. Kaya kailangan talaga dumaan muna sa due process. At ang due process ay yon, kailangan dumaan sa korte, dumaan sa local court ang warrant of arrest bago ito mapagtibay at maihain sa taong pinatutungkulan ng warrant of arrest. May tamang koordinasyon ng mga ahensya katulad ng PCTC at saka ano pa yung isa, meron pa yung kasama ng PCTC. Ayun, basta alam nyo na yun mga kababayan. Naiintindihan nyo na yun. Basta ang pinag-uusapan natin dito mga kababayan, at ito ang tanong ng ating mga kababayan, karamihan, yung bang warrant of arrest ng na mula sa ICC ay valid ba ito? Yan ang sasagutin ng usapang matino with Attorney Rowena Guanzon. At ito po ay mapapanood nyo lang, wala nang iba kundi dito sa Net25 News and Information. Attorney Rowena Guanzon, pasok!
Welcome to Usapang Matino dito sa Net25. Pag-uusapan natin ngayon ang mga tanong the questions that are being asked by the public as a result of the incidents in the Senate where the National Bureau of Investigation, Director Matibag, attempted to serve a warrant from the International Criminal Court against Senator Bato de la Rosa. So, as you know, the NBI entered the Senate with the knowledge of then Senate President Soto and waited for Senator de la Rosa, having, I assume, advance information that he will attend the Senate session that day. So that when Senator de la Rosa showed up, they pursued him, hinabol nila siya, at according to Senator de la Rosa, ay nag-wrestle sila. No? Nagpakita pa siya ng mga sugat sa kamay niya dahil sa sapilitang paghawak sa kanya ng mga NBI agents. Ang tanong, the question that the people are asking is that ICC warrant valid even now that the Philippines is no longer a member of the ICC? As you know, the Philippines withdrew from the International Criminal Court, from the Rome Statute, when President Rodrigo Duterte was president. So, however, the complaint in the ICC for crimes against humanity as a result of extrajudicial killings, allegedly, were filed in the ICC without filing in our domestic courts. And they allege that those crimes happened during the time when the Philippines was a member of the International Criminal Court. So that even if it's no longer a member of the International Criminal Court, now the ICC warrant can still have validity. Well, we're not questioning the validity of the ICC warrant, but people are asking if that warrant of the ICC can be enforced or served by law enforcers, in this case the National Bureau of Investigation, without going through a competent domestic court, in this case the Regional Trial Court. Now, to answer that question, we will have to study or analyze, well, two documents, aside from the constitutional right, of course, of the accused under our Bill of Rights, that no person may be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. The other two documents are the Rome Statute, which is the basis for the International Criminal Court, and RA 9851, Republic Act 9851, which is an act defining and penalizing crimes against international humanitarian law, genocide, and war crimes. So, the question is, what was the basis of NBI Matibag in enforcing a warrant issued by the ICC? And what was the participation of Trillanes, who was holding a copy of the ICC warrant on that day that the NBI director or his people attempted to serve it upon Senator Bato de la Rosa? We have invited an expert, and we will view her opinions today. Our guest, Dr. Loha, who is a lawyer and has a Master of Laws from the University of Hong Kong and has a PhD in international law, was our guest in my show, Sa Totoo Lang. So we're showing it here today, her opinion today, so that she can explain the relationship of the Rome Statute, on which the ICC is based, and our RA 9851. So let's watch Dr. Attorney Loha's opinion.
Now, under the Rome Statute, Article 59 is very specific. It says that if there is an ICC warrant executed in a jurisdiction such as, for instance, the Philippines, then the first step would be for the arresting officer to bring the accused to a competent judicial authority. And the wording of Article 59 is very specific. Competent judicial authority, not executive authority like the DOJ, as what happened with President Duterte. So in this case, the competent judicial authority would be a regional trial court.
Right.
Now, the purpose of presenting the accused to a competent judicial authority is to enforce a very important right recognized by the Rome Statute itself, and which is the right to apply for interim release.
Interim
Before-
release.
Yeah, before surrender. So that is a right recognized by the Rome Statute. And so if the NBI draws its authority from the Rome Statute, then it has to also recognize that right of the accused or arrested person to seek interim release.
Now, interim release is one of the remedies available to the accused under the Rome Statute. That even if, for example, an accused is arrested in his home country, the accused may still apply for interim release in his home country. And where does he or she apply for that? In the courts, because the Rome Statute says judicial authority. All right? So, the representative of the Secretary of Justice in the hearing of Senator Marcos, after former President Duterte was arrested and flown to The Hague, was wrong in saying that this Department of Justice is the judicial authority referred to in the Rome Statute. We all know that the Secretary of Justice is does not function as part of our judiciary. It is part of the executive. So, the Secretary of Justice representative was and is wrong. So, when they captured former President Duterte, and he was asking, where is the warrant? Torre had no warrant to show. Wala siyang may pakita. And when he was asked, by whose authority are you arresting me? Because you know, President Duterte was a former fiscal or prosecutor. General Torre said, my authority. My authority, he said. A policeman. Not even by authority of the Secretary of Justice, but my authority, Torre said. And captured him and forcibly brought him to a plane that brought him to The Hague, and now he is still incarcerated in the ICC. But in the Rome Statute, it says, as Dr. Loja explained, that the accused has the remedy of interim release. And since President Duterte was not brought to a competent judicial authority or the regional trial court, he was not able to avail of this remedy of asking for interim release. That is why his lawyers asked for interim release in the ICC, because he was not granted that remedy here in the Philippines. And in fact, there was no warrant of arrest that was shown or submitted to a judicial authority or the regional trial court here in the Philippines. Now, if NBI Matibag says that he was basing his arrest of Senator De La Rosa on Republic Act 9851 and not on the Rome Statute, then he also failed to comply with that law. Because under RA 9851, Section 17, and you also read Section 18, the accused should be then, with the named in the ICC warrant, should be presented to or brought to the regional trial court. The same, because it is based on Section 59 of the Rome Statute, which says that the accused shall be immediately brought to a judicial authority. It doesn't mean the ICC. It meant the judicial authority where he was being arrested. Right? So if NBI Director Matibag says that he based his enforcement of the ICC warrant on RA 9851, then he also did not follow the law. He broke the law because under our Republic Act 9851, Section 17, and you read also 18, it states that the accused shall then be brought using an ICC warrant, shall then be immediately brought to the regional trial court in our country, where his identity will be ascertained. The court will make sure that during his arrest, his rights were protected, and where he can apply for interim release. So it is not correct what this government of Bongbong Marcos has been peddling to us, that they were bound to enforce the ICC warrant without submitting or bringing President Duterte to the regional trial court. And now, NBI Matibag seems to be confused. But, being a lawyer, he is supposed to know the law, and ignorance of the law is not an excuse. He must have known that under RA 9851, Section 17, he was duty-bound to bring, if he was able to arrest Senator Bato de la Rosa, to bring him to the regional trial court. That is the remedy and the procedure in the Rome Statute also, which Torre, who was being ordered by President Bongbong Marcos, which Torre failed to do, which in fact he refused any reason that will delay the capture of President Rodrigo Duterte. And the same order was given to NBI Matibag, which BBM now denies. BBM said, no, I did not order him to serve that warrant. But Matibag said he was ordered to serve this warrant. Naturally, why should he try to serve it if there is no order, right? I mean, he is NBI director. He takes orders from the Secretary of Justice, and the Secretary of Justice is the alter ego of President Bongbong Marcos. Bongbong Marcos said, no, I did not order him to arrest Senator De La Rosa. Because he had to say that because ang mga tao ay nagrereklamo na. There was already, an outcry. Okay? Because Matibag entered the Senate. NBI agents entered the Senate, presumably with firearms, to arrest an incumbent senator. And because his order was, you arrest him, but once he enters the session hall, you cannot arrest him anymore. That is why they pursued Senator De La Rosa like he was a common thief. And, you know, in criminal law and police enforcement, that is called a hot pursuit if the crime has just been committed. But at the time, Senator De La Rosa was not committing any crime. He entered the Senate with full intent to perform his functions and duties as a senator and to vote for Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano on that day. That is why you see the footage of Senator Bato de la Rosa running up the stairs, and he said that NBI agents did catch up on him, and in fact they wrestled such that he had injuries on his fingers. Now, what is a good example of that? One example of that requirement of the Rome Statute that the accused should be brought to a judicial authority to ascertain, among others, if his rights was protected, if this is his identity, is really the accused, and to apply for interim release wherever he was arrested in a court, an institution with judicial authority. One example is the Libyan official El Masri Najim, also called Najim. And he was wanted by the ICC he was accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity in Libya. But the ICC was informed that the state that captured him, Italy, had to release him and flown back to India, even if he was arrested in Italy in January 2025 on an ICC warrant. And what were the reasons why the Italian judicial authority released El Masri Najim? There were alleged procedural or technical defects in the ICC warrant process. There were issues about whether the Italian Justice Ministry had been properly notified. And there were legal complications involving extradition and domestic procedure. So the ICC wanted him detained and surrendered to The Hague, but Italy arrested him on the basis of the ICC warrant, but released him and repatriated him. So that is one example where the arresting country had to follow the Rome Statute's procedure, at the same time follow their own rules of court. And having found defects in the way the accused was arrested, the Italian judicial authorities released him and repatriated him. Unfortunately, this precedent in Italy was, of course, just ignored by the Philippine government, even if they had known about this case. Why? Because the BBM administration had the full intent to capture President Rodrigo and bring him to The Hague, whatever it costs. So what we have is a precedent where the Italian judicial authorities refused to send the accused to the ICC when he was arrested in Italy, because they followed their own rules of court and they followed also Section 59 of the Rome Statute. Now, NBI Director Matibag, of course, has to answer to our jurisdiction, and I hope he does. I hope he is made accountable for this in the future. Why he attempted to serve a warrant of arrest against Senator Bato de la Rosa inside the Senate and using harsh or in a harsh manner. At the same time, having tried to forcibly open the wall or the door that separates the GSIS from the Senate grounds, because both the GSIS and the Senate are inside one building, because the Senate is renting from the GSIS. So he has a lot to answer for. But if you ask him, I think he said that he is enforcing the warrant pursuant to RA 9851. If Torre were arrested Senate President President Duterte, pursuant to RA 9851, he was duty-bound by law to bring him to the regional trial court, which he did not. And even if he says that he was arresting him by virtue of an ICC warrant, but enforcing it as a law enforcer of the Philippines, then he should have known that the constitutional rights of the accused are not waived in any law penalizing a crime. And therefore, President Duterte should have been brought to the regional trial court.
Akala nila yung warrant of arrest can be enforced. Wala na tayong membership sa ICC, nasa Rome Statute. Without the treaty, what will be the legal basis of a warrant of arrest? You tell me. Huwag kayo nagpapapaniwala doon sa mga din, mga abogadong nagsasalita ng salita. Nililin lang nila kayo. Anong pinaglapalagi lang sinasabi? Paikot-ikot sila sa Section 17 of Republic Act 1951. Balik-balik ta rin nyo doon. Sinasabi niya lahat. Gagawin mo lang. I-surrender mo or blah 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 in accordance with extradition laws and treaties. Meron tayong extradition law? Wala. Meron tayong treaty? Wala. Anong basis ng warrant of arrest? As simple as that. Is there an automatic domestic instrument that will bind our country with that of ICC? You tell me.
This injustice is unforgivable, especially in the manner by which NBI Director Matibag attempted to serve that warrant with harshness, if not violence. Are we going to tolerate this? Is BBM going to tolerate this because it is politically convenient for him to look the other way? Is this the standard of practice of law enforcement agencies from now on? Na kailangan mahuli siya kahit sino pa man ang masaktan? Ganito na ba talaga ang gobyerno ng Pilipinas? Ito na ba talaga ang gobyerno sa isang demokratikong bansa? Wala na ba tayong konstitusyon o saligang batas? Wala na ba tayong Bill of Rights? Wala ba talaga tayong mga batas na nagrerespeto sa karapatan ng mga mamamayan kahit sila ay akusado pa? Mga kababayan, isipin na lang po natin na itong pangyayari ito ay hindi po ito maaring maulit. Kailangan po managot ang sinong dapat managot. And then, they project Senator De La Rosa as a fugitive from justice. Is he a fugitive from justice? He is not a fugitive from justice because there is no warrant of arrest issued by a court of competent jurisdiction against Senator De La Rosa. He is not a fugitive of justice because he was not arrested even if Batibag tried. He is a free man and he is still Senator of the Republic. And what we want from the BBM administration, again, aside from all this corruption, is accountability of law enforcement officers, including NBI Director Batibag. Maraming salamat po. Ito po si Attorney Rowena Guanzon, ang inyong lingkod.
Yon mga kababayan, yun po yung video napanood nyo po kay Attorney Rowena Guanzon at hanggang dun lang at naktanganan natin ang gigiganti camera mga kababayan. Bye-bye!